Hello and welcome. I've peered into the timelines and apparently there is a leak for 10.0. Again, please very much take everything with a grain of salt, buckets of salt, a sea of salt. So let's continue. Let's look into this. Apparently this was taken from a private game dev Discord. Wow. And it was posted on the 12th. So let's see what we have here. This new expansion is going to be called the Dragon Islands, which I have speculated about, and the possibilities for it are gigantic. It says the marketing tagline will be "AZEROTH has awoken." Okay, I'm not into marketing and stuff. This isn't gonna. I can't really say anything about it. New zone, the Dragon Islands, of course. New race, Black Dragons. I don't think there's enough Black Dragons left. And I mean pure Black Dragons, not corrupted by Deathwing or the Old Gods or Twilight Dragons, for it to be usable as a playable race. Now we're just gonna ignore that the Red Dragons are kind of up in the air if they have spawns or not anymore. Depends what you did as a Death Lord, I guess. Anyway, the new system is world shaping. And we get some of the spoilers from Shadowlands. After you defeat the jailer, Azeroth is ruptured. But you save the planet, but there's consequences. Some stay a while and listen events after the fight describe the state of Azeroth. Magni reverts back from diamond form, which is huge. Though it is not impossible. We know that it could work since the earthen became the dwarves because of the curse of flesh. Nah, I'm not seeing it, sorry. 9.2.5. Damn. This is taking way too long. Pre-expansion event being put together is huge. Lots of reused events like earthquakes and invasion, but also a massive time walking event that's being designed as a mini season of mastery across lots of Azeroth-centric dungeons and raids. Devs want players familiar with the history of Azeroth before 10.0. A big tour of old events and lore. And this should be something that stays. I hope this is true. I really hope this thing, this pre-expansion event is true, and I hope it stays, because the game needs a way to streamline its story in such a way that people can understand what happens and what they're doing. If you're a new player and you don't know anything about World of Warcraft, you're just gonna hit your head into a wall, not gonna understand what's happening with the characters. You're gonna see a few war chiefs at the same time. Makes no sense. But this, if they could find a way and do it, like I heard rumors that a former dev had this plan to make some sort of dungeon / tiny raid make a dungeon for each zone, and each zone to have its own, and each expansion to have its own mini raid where you go through the story of it. You need something like that. Well, hopefully also leaving the old things you have there. Crazed Trogs, Quillbore, Mantid, and Elemental Invasion across most of Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, Northern, and Pandaria. Are we just gonna forget about Kultiras and Zandalar? I'm just asking. New world boss, Garadon, son of Galakrond. Okay, the name isn't really that impressive. I don't see why the Keepers or the Titans would leave the son of Galakrond there. But since the only Titan that really got invested into the dragon's plight was Tyr, fine. Okay, this makes sense, whatever. So, new expect, let's go. 10.0 cinematic being put together is the biggest Blizz have ever produced. Entire Sign team has been developing this for over a year. All Shadowlands pre-render cinematics were scrapped and the whole team moved on to this. Is a love letter to Azeroth, mirrors the original WoW launch cinematic, and ends with Azeroth being born. So you're telling me we're not gonna really have a planet anymore? Because this is what I'm getting for this. If Azeroth is born, by goes our planet. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest. The first WoW launch cinematic, it's impressive. It's nice, but I think they done way better with stuff until this day. If it's a love letter to the world of Azeroth, that's one thing. But I don't think it's gonna be something huge with this. As a result of the Jailer's assault, Azeroth the Eternal is born from the World Soul. She's a dragon. Sort of. I mean, Dragon Islands. Okay, so the connection until now works. All world souls are unique, and Azeroth's essence has indirectly shaped the planet for eons. That is true. We know this one. Dragons are tied directly to Azeroth, who is sort of the dragon progenitor. How do you have dragons in Outland? In Draenor? I'm really banging my head on this one. How do you have dragons in Outland? Like, I know Words of Draenor, not really dragons, but it doesn't really make sense. I mean, dragons should be everywhere. It is a possibility that only Azeroth has dragons, if we exclude Outland. But sure, okay, let's go with this. Once players reach Dragon Isles, they work directly with Azeroth, okay, to reshape the world. Story here is that the planet has taken a beating over the last couple of decades, and it is having dire consequences for everyone living there. Okay, sounds normal. Azeroth as a character described sort of like Lilo from Fifth Element. What? Lilo from Fifth Element? I'm gonna have to save a picture of this. Oh, I was already there. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to save a picture of Lilo and just put it on the screen random. Yeah, Lilo Fifth Element. Ah. Okay. Hey, that's just weird. I'm not really that sold on this being real with this one. A supreme being, but with the mind of a child. Players need to help her unlock her powers to heal the planet. She's in a temple on Dragon Isle with Thrall and Wrathion. Lots of Earthwarden, I guess, lore as the three of them try to do what Deathwing couldn't. Destroy the world. Azeroth has her own talent tree. Oh god, or more talent trees. Looks very much like old school talent trees from Classic, so like the box of Mist of Things from Torghast. Players can help her by training her via this tree. Each talent is also usable by players through the World Bond ability. New abilities are like Covenant abilities, but not additional locked-in choices. Okay, more options. I like that. Everyone gets the same abilities. Abilities have secondary effects depending on the zone you're in. One example is an ability like Abomination Limb that also works as a grapple hook. Can we just use the grapple hooks we had in Legion? Whatever. I'm just nitpicking now. Dragon Isles, however, Dragon Isles zones will change over time via world shaping. Some pretty cool massive changes, like a whole zone turning from a desert into a forest. Zone is heavily elf focused, with night elves trying to discover a way to restore Teldrassil with Azeroth's help. You plant trees and tend to a huge forest here, like a massive version of the Mist of Pandaria farm. That's okay, fun. World shaping unlocks new abilities in each zone. Water walking, flying. God have mercy on my soul. We need flying from the start of an expansion. But okay, fine. I guess it makes sense if you unlock it during the story. Okay, I can live with that. Teleporting, spectral sight. Weird. And treasure finding. Some older zones in the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor will be getting big updates during this expansion. Maybe we're gonna see something good come out of Stromgarde. I really think the Stromgarde is a wasted potential at this point. Well, let's see. Black dragons. Work like worgans. Furries. Dragon furries. Of course, that's what we needed. Customize your dragon form and humanoid appearances. Humanoid can be any race, including allied races. That's pretty nice. Extra customization options for humanoid form include horns, tails, jewelry, scales, as well as effects like burning eyes and molten blood, which is a cool new effect. So you can have the Deathwing thing where he just bleeds lava, but nothing happens to him. Okay, that's I think it's way too far-fetched with this one. Okay. Dragon form is mainly used for travel and 2 racial abilities. Story will explain why black dragons need to learn how to fight like mortals as one of the classes. Black dragons can be warrior, mage, rogue, druid, hunter, warlock, priest, shaman, and paladin. All the original WoW classes. So basically the only classes they can be is monk, demon hunter, and death knight. Okay, this just nah. The black dragons as a race, they seem way too stretch out. If this might be true, I think what we have here is testing. I don't think they're gonna go that way, but let's see. Wrathion has been trying to restore the black dragon fight since Kata. True. Players are new dragons that Wrathion has been overseeing in the Dragon Isles. Wrathion has recruited / kidnapped, nice, class trainers from all over AZEROTH to train his new flight. The warlock trainer will cause some players to flip out. Warlock trainer? That sounds interesting. Will cause some players to flip out. It's not gonna be Gul'dan. Gul'dan's dead. What other Medivh? But Medivh is kind of a mage. Well, let's just move on. Since the battle with Deathwing, all dragon aspects have been losing their magic. I thought they already lost it. But let's see. New dragons players need to learn how to fight alongside mortal races to save the race. Wrathion's big thing is reversing the loss of magic from dragons completely and protecting his flight. No big bad in 10.0, but there are infinite dragons, Netherwing, and some Dragon Isle specific proto races. There's a pretty fun Trog progenitor race that's actually super advanced and intelligent. That's funny. Going back to smaller zone-contained stories, big focus on discovery and soft rebooting AZEROTH, the planet, setting up future conflicts. For a moment, I thought I talked to myself for nothing. I just talked to myself without pressing the record button. So this can be... I have my doubts with a lot of things in this. Big ones. The fact that black dragons can be any class except the 3 from the expansion feels kind of too much. But there might be a way to do it, because I think trolls are they miss only one class or something like that. I have my doubts with that one, but if I'm wrong, I'm lenient on it. If I'm not, I don't know what to say. What else? I'm curious about this warlock train will cause some players to flip out. I am really looking forward to that. It might be Demon Lord or something, a Dreadlord. The dragon form thing making me a little bit iffy. I don't think I have enough player spaces left on my WoW account to create basically every race with this. Yeah, I could work. Anyway, let's see. The dragon form is interesting because it talks about how it's only used for travel and 2 racial abilities, and that the story will explain. But okay, that's interesting. World shaping and sounds pretty good. The fact that there's no big bad evil guy at the end makes me curious how raiding and stuff would work. Guess we're just gonna have bigger threats, but they're not Zoval or Sargeras level or Old Gods level. The comparison with Lilo from the 5th Element is interesting. So a little weird, but okay. I'm not so sure if Azeroth being reborn is what we need. Um, the thing with the end of Shadowlands, the first part with Zoval being defeated, makes sense to me, except Magni reverting back from Diamond form. Though if Azeroth is to be reborn, then it makes sense why he would, what's it called? He would turn back. The pre-expansion thing is something I've always wanted. The devs need to bring back old events that they have removed, like the Battle for Lordaeron, like the Burning of Teldrassil, War of the Thorns, everything. They need to bring back everything so players can have a cohesive story going forward. Or make it as cohesive as you can, because you can do scenarios, and you've seen how well those work in Mists of Pandaria. I like the idea of the progenitor Trogs being intelligent. It's funny. And no mention of pygmies, and like pygmies are my favorite enemy. But you know, ah well. The fact that you can unlock new abilities is, I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that wants flying from the start of the expansion. I want to put down a sum of gold, no matter the cost, and just get it. But unlocking it like this and not being forced to do achievements or spend long days trying to do stuff is also good. I like the idea of having choices with the new abilities, not like Covenant locked in choices. For example, I can't be a Ventiator and have my own steward, which I hate. I don't even want a steward. I want one of the dirges to just come around and serve me wine and shit and stuff. But whatever. The fact that Azeroth has her own talent tree is interesting. There is as this thing says, it's a possibility that they're trying to go back to their roots, going back to World of Warcraft and, well, vanilla World of Warcraft, that is. And there are hopes for this to work. Now, again, this is all a leak, and you have to be skeptical of this stuff because you never know. But it's good to always have it at hand. Now, how much will be true, how much will not be true, we're gonna have to live and find out. I, for one, think that some things might be true and correct, since I've also speculated on them in videos that you should watch. I think some of them might not be. But again, take with a bucket of salt, a sea of salt. And anyway, thanks for watching.